Hey guys, it's Pony here. This is how I use Deadlock to kill people in ranked. Here you see one of my favorite ways of playing aggressive Deadlock, and quite frankly, a very effective playstyle. Just be careful not to overuse it, as it can become quite predictable. Basically, after placing my entire setup on short, I turn my attention to showers and wall it as I always do.
Call that out first round. I don't think he's sniped.
Right after walling it though, I hear the entire US military push it, and here's where the aggressive playstyle works so good. Basically, right after they break the wall, I throw my granite as close to myself as possible without actually being crushed by it. This way, I will be able to re-swing the granite as soon as it lands, as people's first instinct when grabbing it is to take it off, right? That means they won't have their gun out to shoot me. Then, after taking out one, I will go back into cover, wait for the sound cue again, and re-swing. Easy kills. Here is another example of the same concept, but this time incorporated with an important technique to the granite when you have someone stuck, and that is to wide swing on granite contact. This is oftentimes really effective, as usually when aiming, if you aim too close, you would correct it with your movement, right? If they wide swing. But since you're crouched, you can't really correct it with your movement, meaning us Deadlock mains get a little easy headshot. Also, we're so close to 10k on Twitch. It would mean the world to me if you went and followed. In this clip, we're playing B-side defense Abyss, which is probably my favorite side in the game to hold as Deadlock, and that's mainly because of this setup here. We place one ceiling trip here on a little box and one trip on a little stone fence here. Then you can just play on top of this box, and you have a straight sideline to both of the sensors at the same time. Meaning, when one guy gets done, you can just hold it and peek, and when the other guy tries to push you, he will also get stunned. Anyways, I throw my wall like this early, and then trade my jet, who dies because he ain't playing Deadlock. He'll always play Deadlock. Then, upon hearing their push, I pop my ultimate and play off of it. Also, look at this club who tries to peek out and break it while stunned. Here, you see why Deadlock is the best agent in the game for pulse plant, and how you lock down sides as Deadlock properly. After doing a fake A, we go C to hopefully lessen the pressure of the enemies on C, and well, it sort of worked. However, our neon takes too much space alone, leading to them dying, so I have to go in and try to trade our neons. After taking out Reyna, C-side should now be completely open, meaning it's time to lock it down. The first thing I do when I take a site is to always wall a choke point, just so the enemies can't flood retake onto site, because we don't really are positioned yet for the retake, which means that the enemies could probably get a lot of picks and make us lose the round. And for Lotus, I almost always wall waterfall, as in CT they can sort of jump over the wall if you don't place it properly, and I don't really have the time and precision to wall it. So wall waterfall. After planning, I place one sensor here. That way when they start pushing out, they get stunned. But honestly, I think a better one is if you place it on the stone fence a little more to the right, as this will be hard to destroy because it's kind of hidden, right? Then finally I place a sensor right next to the spike so I can play off it, and now you just wait for the enemies to push.
We can't play from out.
Here is another example, but this time by utilizing the granite instead. The way you want to use the granite for when the enemies start retaking is by waiting until they're just about out of the entrance to the site. So they will be stuck in extremely awkward positions, where you can hopefully use angle advantage against them, like I do here.
One enemy remaining.
And honestly, one underrated reason on why the granite is so broken is you can create massive angle advantage for yourself, like I do in this 1v4 on pistol round. After taking out Jet, I grab the ghost and push up. I know that 3 enemies are likely close by, as I just broke the echo flash, so I have to try to isolate angles. And well, Chamber peeks me alone for some reason, so yeah, it's now 1v2. After taking out Chamber, I know the last 2 enemies are likely holding the same angle, as they know where I am, and Gecko also threw a flash from there. So I throw my gravnet and manage to hit both of them. And here again, you see the angle advantage principle come into play. You see how the 2 enemies are now stuck super close to the angle? Yeah, this means I will have more time to line up my headshots, as I will see them before they see me. Here, we're playing Sunset Attack A site. After taking A main, I throw my usual wall, which is honestly really fucking good, as it stops their flood, and they can't push out of it either, especially if there's a smoke there, so it's kind of like an added safety net. And this also means that we can take our time clearing side, because they won't be able to flood back onto site backstab us. After taking side, I placed my normal sensors like this. One for the push out from CT and one from A-Link. Then, once they start to use their util to try to push out, I have my ultimate, which I can use to alleviate the pressure of them pushing. And here comes a big tip with ultimate. If you ult into multiple people, you can position yourself like I do here. And I basically just stand. So if the ult breaks, I can just shoot straight forward and I'll get a spray kill. So if you have the option to, try to always position yourself like this, because this basically guarantees that you get the kill, even if they break the cocoon.
Nice. Beautiful, guys.
In this clip here, you can see why Deadlock's wall is not only good for slowing down pushes, but also how you can play off of it. Anyways, after losing 2 of our teammates in gunfights early into the round, we've decided to walk up B-long. After baiting wingman, I take out Sky, and this makes it possible for me to first take control of side and then wall it once we know it's clear. Then I go elbow to play off of my wall. Basically, the way I usually play off of it is based off when the enemies try to break it. But you have to be very careful and time it correctly. You need to swing right as they shoot the wall, otherwise it's not going to work. After taking out Viper, I don't re-swing the wall again, as I know Clove is likely probably holding elbow. So if I try to peek, then I will just die. And I don't want to give them that advantage. So instead, I go back to my teammate and play off a tap. Don't be greedy, guys. It'll cost you the round.
Nice.
Here, we're playing Haven attack A side. And you probably remember this lineup if you're an OG, but this basically hits all of A long. So you can punish the jet opping, the ISO pushing, whatever you want. Anyways, after grabbing the orb, I have my ult, and I know Reyna's backside. So bye-bye, Reyna. Then I go to wall side.
Five of CT.
Spike down
After walling, I place 1 trip CT for the CT flood and 1 on the drop to heaven, as you know, 90% of players drop into this corner from heaven. So yeah, they'll get stunned. After planning, the enemy omen TPs to A long, so I'm kind of stuck on default on side because I have 1 guy holding heaven for me, and then I have 1 guy pushing me from A long, so I'm kind of pinched. But that's okay, as this setup here will make it so even if the Sova falls down to try to make it so that him and Omen can swing together, it won't work, as the Sova will get stunned, which makes me able to isolate the Omen or him. So basically I get a free 1v1, and well, that's exactly what happened.
One enemy remaining.
Oh yeah, and here's another angle of it.
That's gold.
Last player standing.
Ey, das
Ja,
ist ja aber auch
100
wieder lächerlich mit dieser
100 Mann, diese
Scheiß-Trap, ne?
Trap, Mann.
Ey, das ist so OP, eigentlich.
In this clip here, we're doing an A split on Abyss, and a really good grata you can use is this one here that hits the entrance to mid, so anyone peeking from B will get slowed, which means that we can easily break the vents and take control of A heaven before they are able to peek us properly. Just make sure to ask your smoker to smoke here so that we can actually push this safety without getting peeked from any other angle from mid. But yeah, that's exactly why this grata is really good and why I always almost use it for A split. So after throwing my gravnet and taking control of mid, I go back to A side and place my wall like this on CT, and then I sonic sensor here so I can just play off of them because enemies almost always walk into these. They're really strong on retakes. So yeah.
Okay, I'm flashing city to storm.
Let's play, guys!
He's close to you, close to you. Might be it.
Hey. Nice. One shot, basically.
One. He's stuck. Two stuck. Two stuck.
One more. Maybe Crosshair. Okay, bad. Shield, don't need to go, they're all there.
Enemy remaining.
Nice.
Where? All these clips are taken from my Twitch. If you have any questions about Deadlock or anything, just type in the chat when I'm live, and I would really appreciate it if you guys followed. We're so close to 10k right now on Twitch, so if you have the option to, I would really appreciate a follow. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you liked the video, please subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time.